What's happening?
How you feeling, King?
Good. How's everything?
All is well. All is well. First and foremost, thank you so much for coming on the platform. I really
No
appreciate you.
worries. Let me get my light. I can get it better or not. Hold on. Not that
Okay,
one. No.
okay.
That one. What part of the world are you in?
I just got back in the States. I'm in Nashville. I'm
Are you in
visiting my
Nashville
family.
now?
Yeah, yeah.
I love Nashville. They got the beautiful museum there.
Yeah. It's like a country music hub. It's a cool city. I like it down here as well. I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, okay. Ohio. Ohio's a great. Okay. Ohio is maybe the greatest state for soul and funk music. I think it is the greatest.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. You got Zap, you got Boosie, you got the OJs, the Ohio players. You got some strong musicians that came up out of there.
Bobby Womack, Nancy Wilson,
Mm,
Peter Baker. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Rod Temperton, everything's London. And Robert Heatwave is Ohio. What's my man's
Mm,
name? Steve Arrington. LA is from no, not LA. No, LA is from Ohio. John Legends is Ohio. I mean,
yeah.
it goes on and
It
on.
goes on and on.
Yeah.
I interviewed I don't know if you're familiar with Tiger Martin. He was one of James Brown's drummers.
Oh wow,
Mm-hmm.
nice. I mean, sure, that's one of the documentaries I'm working on is Ohio because Lakeside. Names just go on and on. But the question becomes, why Ohio? Even you
Yeah.
think about there's Ohio, there's Michigan, and there's Minnesota. What is it about that area, about the Midwest, if you will, that musically makes it so important?
Yeah, that's interesting. I definitely look forward to that.
Yeah,
So for the viewers who may not recognize you, you do so much work behind the scenes. Let them know what your name is and definitely where you from.
J. Kevin Swain. I'm from a small town called South Central LA.
Wow. Okay, but that's a mighty small town.
It's
Big
a
shout out
mighty
to
small town
Central.
indeed.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Palm trees, nice grass, fruit, everything you can imagine. Of course, when I say of course, John Singleton, South Central, very accurate, incredibly accurate. Snowfall, Boys in the Hood, and such. But the South Central I grew in, a little bit different from that. Even if you look at Bad Boy, not Bad, Baby Boy by John Singleton, that's a little more South Central I grew up in. Was more, the topography is beautiful. It's tomatoes in the backyard, avocados and figs and all of that. That idealistic, but a different view of it all.
Okay. I
Mhm.
appreciate you breaking that down because it's like a lot of people outside of California and Los Angeles, they have their own perception of what LA is like, whether it be
Yeah,
Hollywood or South Central or anything in
that's what
between.
media does, fortunately and unfortunately.
Hmm.
I think on the unfortunate side, people come to LA thinking, okay, I got to do Hollywood swinging and all that. I understand. It's like going to New York and you go into Times Square. That's going to happen. You know what I mean? But it's so
Hmm.
much more than Hollywood and the hood. Even from a Italian standpoint, LA has a lot more to offer that. But when you come here, you're not going to think about going to Rolling Heights or Garden Grove or any of the South beaches, Laguna and all that. You're thinking about coming to Roscoe's and the Hollywood Boulevard and Venice Beach. That's how it goes.
Yeah. Now I can ask you this. Now, when did you develop this passion for, like music and film? Was that something you got into early on, or did you kind of pick it up later in life?
As I look back on it, I wouldn't say it happened early, but didn't know it, of course. Where I grew up in South Central, there were garage bands like in the alley across the street from where I lived. And I was, given the right to go and hear that music. It was safe. And walk out the street, walk on the side of Mr. Burry's house, boom, there's music right there. And I loved live music really as an early child. But I also would say sixth grade, it was my responsibility every Monday morning to plug in the speaker for the assembly and raise the flag. So I'm going to say a combination of loving live music and responsibility got me into production. And at the same time, there was a film my sister took me to see in the drive-in by Joe Cocker, who just got inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And the film was called Mad Dogs and Englishmen. Joe Cocker, I think, he's a Brit. He may be from Wales. No, Tom Jones is from Wales. Yeah, he's from the UK. And it was a concert film. I thought that was the coolest thing. I was like, I like this. I'm not gonna say I knew then that I knew what I wanted to do. But over the years, like everybody else, I'd watch Soul Train, American Bandstand, Don Kirshner's Rock Concert, which is a late night live music show, and then the Midnight Special, which was hosted by Wolfman Jack, a well-known DJ of the time. And so I'd stay up late and watch, live music shows. And then also there was a show called In Concert. In Concert was a live simulcast concert show that here in LA, you can watch it on Channel 7 KABC, but it was also simulcast on a rock station here at 95 and a half KLOS. That was a simulcast, what we would call right now a live stream, right? This is in the 70s. And so you can turn on your radio and put on 95 and a half and hear this exact same concert you're watching. I thought that was the most ingenious thing ever, 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 ever. And I think over time, the things that you're rooted in that you love, eventually that love and that passion comes back around. So it came back around, I'm going to say, my first job in business was in '84, and it was the Red Fox show. And the Red Fox show was Red Fox's second show after Sanford and Son, and I was a runner. My job was to go get lunch, go get water, whatever, donuts, whatever it was. That was my job, was a gopher, which harkens back to me in the first grade. My job or my responsibility was take everyone's 10 cent and go get gingerbread milk. So I was a runner at age, I guess, 7 before I ever knew what a runner was. But again, responsibility is the key. And then fast forward, I began to I did the Grammys as a runner. Love that. Realized I like this space more than the sitcom space. I did a show for Patti Labelle, also as a runner, and Luther Vandross was on it, Amy Grant, and I want to say somebody else is on that show. I forgot. But it was a great opportunity for me to say, oh, I like this variety TV thing. That took me to a documentary called Motown on Showtime. Now I'm getting into the music space. I'm like, I like this music thing. I can understand this.